be kind of revisiting a topic that we did before with the superhero genetics. So you're going to be creating your ultimate superhero. But I changed it a little bit. I made it a little bit more doable. Guys, get too excited, I'm going to ask you to leave, okay? Thank you. I changed it a little bit from the way we did it before so that it's more helpful, it's more doable. Last time we had about 20 different traits. I cut it down to about 8 traits.
What do you mean by traits?
Can somebody remind me what a trait is? Somebody forgot. Ulysses, help me out.
Like blue eyes?
Blue eyes is a trait. Okay. So I came up with a bunch of different traits. So what I need is number 1. So the learning goal today says I can review genetics by working with my classmates to create the ultimate superhero. Now I made my ultimate superhero before class today, and I actually made 2. Get ready, Miss Downer. Pretty exciting.
Okay.
First superhero, my ultimate superhero is Morrow. He's an ex-luchador. Morrow has some superpowers here. You're going to see all the superpower alleles in the form of letters on your paper. What do the capital letters represent again? Dominant. And what do the lowercase letters represent? Excessive. Perfect. So I have Morrow with that set of genotypes. Now to finish this, I would have to write the same things but as phenotypes. What are phenotypes? Can you hear your description of phenotype? Good, Ulysses. What is it? Those are the physical traits. Those are the things that you can see. And the genotypes are represented by the letters. Yes, sir? Because he's super science man, also. It's his side job. So he's Morrow, that's his superhero, but he has a side job as super science man. That's why he has the graduated cylinder too. Okay? Alright. So anyway, Miss Downer also has a superhero. It is La Downer. She has some superpowers too. She has a couple capital S's which give her super strength. That's what those sweet muscles are for. And she also breathes fire. And Miss Downer has a special ability to read minds. So whatever you're thinking, watch out. Okay, here's what I want. Did you hear me say shh? Alright, we're going to do a quick vocab review, okay? There's a lot of words that we need to know in order to do this. This is that list of words. What we're going to do is we're going to do a really short round robin. You guys remember what that is?
Yeah.
Remember, round robin is where I pick somebody and then we go clockwise around the table and everybody gives their piece and then we move on. So what I want to do is it's just going to be really quick. What I want you to do is I want you to pick one word that you know really well. Think of it. Think of a way to describe that word. You're responsible for that one word. You're responsible for telling the people at your table what that one word means. So, everybody have the word? Thumbs up if you do. Sweet. I want person number 3, closest to that corner. Person number 3, you're going to be first. Person 3, raise your hand. Oh, you're wonderful, Grease. Person 3, your job is to tell your word and give your description of that word so that the rest of your table understands what it is. When you're done, person 3, person 4 is next. Got it? And then we'll just go until we're done. Ready? Person 3, go.
So person B, free, is superior to the other that's submissive.
Dominant is like the one where you're the capital is like a capital S and then like 50% chances that if you put 2 capital letters.
about 10 seconds to finish up, please. Hey, this cue needs to work. If you can hear me say awesome, I really appreciate that. So now that we kind of have our vocab refresher course down, you have a piece of paper in front of you that looks like this. Has these key pieces on it. What we're going to do today, we are making the great-grandparents of our ultimate superhero. The great-grandparents of our ultimate superhero are only allowed to have 2 dominant alleles. Who had allele as their word? Awesome! Tell me what allele means then. What's an allele? Karina, what's an allele?
That's a little letter.
Thanks, Karina. Karina, what's an allele? It's kind of a code for a trait. How do we represent that, Andres?
A letter.
It's represented by a letter. So if we have a capital letter, you guys told me that represents dominant, but in reality, capital letter represents a dominant allele. So we have dominant alleles and we have recessive alleles. The recessive are the lowercase, dominant are the capital. You are only allowed to pick 2 dominant alleles for your superhero's grandparents. That's what you're making right now. So my superhero's grandparents had this. They only had 2 dominant alleles. They're right here, capital G. So this grandparent had laser eyes. Whose grandparents have laser eyes? Yeah, one? Okay, cool. It has laser eyes. And it also has the ability to walk through walls. Which I know my grandpa could do too. He always showed up. I don't know, it was weird. But everything else has lowercase letters. So all our genotypes are just homozygous, recessive. Remember homozygous and heterozygous? Okay. Homozygous recessive here. These are called, with a capital and a lowercase? Heterozygous, right? Get your giggles out now. If it has a capital and a lowercase, it's a heterozygous, which means that which trait does the talking? Dominant or recessive? It's dominant. Dominant trait does the talking. Awesome. So, what I did, I drew pictures. You don't need to draw pictures. All you need to do is pick your 2 dominant alleles, write the rest of the genotypes, and then just write a description. So my phenotype for 2 lowercase a's means no flying. And you know that because you go up here and you say lowercase a is a recessive allele that codes for no flying. So your job right now is to draw, or not draw, your job right now is to pick your 2 dominant alleles and fill the rest in with recessive alleles. Do your genotypes and phenotypes for your grandparents right now. Go.
Wait, what is the option?
That's what we were saying for this one. I have a dominant and a recessive. Dominant and recessive. So the dominant is the top. If you have 1 dominant trait, the dominant trait shows. Yep, that's what I Let's go. So what superpowers do you want your grandparents to have? That's the question. One, good.
was it?
We go, guys. Do anything with that if you want. What powers do you guys bring to them?
You want them now?
So they're gonna be super strong. Pretty sweet. If you flip over this classroom, you can be able to read everybody's mind. That might be kind of scary. Are you sure you want to read everybody's mind? Take about 2 minutes to finish.
If you're little. These are all low on time. No one wants to do that. It's a big old cookie.
Oh, you're right. Oh, yeah. Alright. Human dragon. That could be the name. Human dragon. That's really the main
Just go like the square and so it'll be like
Take 30 seconds to finish. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. If you can hear me, say shh. Oh, thank you guys. Kyle, will you be my partner here to demonstrate what we're gonna do? Alright. Kyle's gonna be my let me have a request here. We're going to keep this PG. Clear? Is that understood by all parties?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say something. 1 giggle is permitted. No more than that. You get 1 giggle. Kyle, where is your superhero grandparent? 1 giggle, that's all you get. Great. Kyle, I would like to create the ultimate superhero by having our grandparents cross DNA. Is that okay with you? 1 giggle, ready to go. Okay, cool. So here's what we need to do, Kyle. We need to take all of our genotypes here. You can hear me say shh. Okay, they got the joke. we need to take all of our genotypes here and we need to cross them. Now your genotypes and my genotypes are actually pretty similar. So you have 2 capital L's though. That's where you put your 2 dominant alleles, and the rest of yours are all lowercase. So what we're going to do is we're going to make our Punnett square on our whiteboard. We're going to make our Punnett square, and we're going to line our alleles up. So my alleles will go on the side, so I have a lowercase a, and Kyle also has a lowercase a. We already know what the offspring is going to be, don't we?
Yeah.
If they're both homozygous recessive, that was weird. If they're both homozygous recessive, the offspring is going to be homozygous recessive also. Cool, thanks. So all of our squares here are going to be lowercase a's the whole way through. So if we have 2 homozygous recessive parents, do we really need to make a Punnett square to show that each box is going to be exactly the same? No. We don't really need to do that, right? The only time we need to do it is if there's a heterozygous parent. So let's go find one of those. So my genes are going to be like this. I know my offspring is going to have lowercase a, lowercase a. Check. Our next ones are 2 lowercase b's, so our offspring is going to have lowercase b, lowercase b. Our next trait says this. Mine is a capital G, lowercase g. Kyle's is capital G, lowercase, or 2 lowercase g's. So it looks like this. Capital G, lowercase g, lowercase g, lowercase g. Here's our Punnett square. And we're going to have 2 possibilities. What is the probability that I'm going to get a heterozygous child? 50%, right? 1 out of 2. So what that means is we have to get our dice out. Now what I did over here is I labeled each box. So the box on the top left is 1, top right is 2, bottom right is 3, bottom left is 4. You're going to roll your dice until you get a number between 1 and 4. I rolled a 5, so I need to roll again until I get a 1 to a 4. I got a 3, so I go over here. Which box is 3? It's the bottom right, so my offspring got lowercase g, lowercase g. My grandparents' superpower was lost. My ultimate superhero will not have laser eyes because of my grandparents. So my prodigy here has 2 lowercase g's. So far, no superpower. Do you understand how to go through all of these? If you have a question, we raise our hand to ask a question. Just like always. So is anybody confused on this? Does anybody have a question on this? Alright, here's the hard part. Yes, Grant? The question was, do we do that with the people at our table? No. You don't have to. What we're going to do... Give me that. What we're going to do is everybody's going to get up. And this is where the natural selection comes in, because you are going to want superpowers that you don't have. We want to combine to make the superhero with the most superpowers. And in order to do that, we're going to have a nice wide variation, a nice wide variety. So what you are going to do is you're going to go around the room and figure out who you want to cross with. Now let me ask you a question. If this first one you made is grandparents, and they're going to give birth to the parents of your superhero, can I have the parents cross with somebody else's grandparents? No. No, this is not Jerry Springer. Okay? This has to be, the same generation has to cross with the same generation. So I have to cross my first generation with another first generation. Second with another second. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay. What I want you to do, you're going to have a whiteboard, and there are markers and dye at your table. You need to use those to cross your superheroes to create your next generation. You may get up to do so. Find who you are going to cross with. Ready, go. We missed something. If you hear me say shh. Eyes up. Your offspring goes in that top column on the back of your page. Okay? Okay, continue. Go.